Good evening and welcome to the 23rd Annual Garden State Film Festival Filmmaker Interviews. My name is Mike Cassidy. I will be your host this evening. And tonight I have the pleasure of speaking with the director and writer behind Sparklers, Katie Lemon. Katie, thanks for joining me tonight.
Hey Mike, good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Of course, yeah, it's good to see you too. So introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your film.
Yeah, so my name is Katie Lemon and I'm the writer-director of Sparklers. And the film follows a young woman who returns home to help her father pack up her childhood home and move everything out. And her dad have different viewpoints on how to handle this move. She's very okay with getting rid of things and kind of going through her stuff from childhood and getting rid of it and just kind of keeping the memories in her head. And her father is very attached to the things, like the physical, tactile things from his past, because it represents the whole life that he's lived in this house and, you know, in his childhood too. So they're both at odds about how to handle the move, and that causes some conflict between them. And you'll have to watch the film to kind of see how they resolve that conflict and these different perspectives on the move.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that with us. So I was able to read a little bit about you in my research, and one thing that was in this bio, and you can speak to this possibly, but it stuck out to me was you try to find beauty in every moment, even like mundane moments and stuff like that. And I think you nailed it with this particular film. How did that become your calling? What you always look for in a film and everything? What was the thing that pushed you to?
Yeah, I think I have always enjoyed films that make me think about them in the days after, and kind of make me think about my life and my relationships in a different way. And that's why I've always been drawn to stories about relationships and like kind of small or seemingly small moments in people's lives that actually have a big impact on them. Like, you know, moving out of your childhood home might kind of seem like a simple thing that you eventually might have to help your parents do one day. But I think that experiences like that can uncover some, you know, deeper things about the way that we deal with the past and how we move on. So I've always been drawn to moments that can kind of bring to light those little things that we all feel at some point in our life. So that hopefully we can all identify with each other a little more, and people can hopefully see a moment in the story that they can identify with in some way, even if it's not directly.
Right. I actually connected with this film a bit more because I've gone through that. I have helped my dad move out of my childhood home, and yeah, it felt like I was watching me 7 years ago or whatever. So I think it was great storytelling. Can you tell us a little bit? First, I also saw not really a resume, but like, yeah, a very impressive resume. Do you want to tell the folks some of the stuff you did leading up to this and everything?
Yeah, for sure. So I did my undergrad at USC, so moved from Texas to California to do my undergrad. Wasn't quite sure where I would land, but it wasn't until after school that I really decided that I wanted to pursue film. So I worked in various aspects of the film industry, worked in development for a producer, worked in production at a commercial production company, and then eventually landed at a post-production company where I still work doing localization, which is like dubbing and subtitles for feature films and television shows. But in between there, or in between all of these jobs that I had, I always tried to do personal projects on the side. I shot a short documentary about a bookstore owner in California. I was a script supervisor on a feature film back in Austin called 6 Years. I did a couple of short films, like narrative shorts on my own, and then went to the MFA directing program at UCLA, and Sparklers was my second year film for school.
Wow.
So it was like my pre-thesis project. And then I never ended up being able to shoot my thesis because of COVID. So I had to do like a very, very small thesis kind of by myself because it was at the height of the pandemic. But then a year later after I graduated, I directed a ad spot for Dell. So I kind of got into the commercial space too. So have a lot of interest when it comes to film, but writing and directing is really what I love doing.
Gotcha. What are the commercials you helped on? Is there any that we might know?
They were a couple of social media ad spots for Dell. So it was about a computer that they'd come out with like a feature that we were highlighting in the spots. So yeah, they were on like YouTube and Instagram, I believe. So
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about the cast and how you came upon them, how you found them? Because I thought they were incredible.
Yeah, I had such a wonderful time working with Ellie and Peter. Was so lucky to find them. We did a casting just on one of the online casting platforms. So got a lot of submissions and saw a lot of really, really wonderful people. And we did some chemistry reads because I really wanted to make sure that the two actors could work well together and, you know, be able to play father and daughter. So we did some chemistry reads and I felt a really great connection between Peter and Ellie. So I ended up casting them for the project, and it was just so wonderful working with them. They were really down to play and experiment and try different things, and it was just a dream to work with both of them.
Yeah, I believe that for sure. What would you say is the message you'd like people to leave with after watching your film at the festival and anywhere else? What do you hope that audiences get out of after they finish watching?
I hope that people can hopefully be more patient with people in their lives, especially their parents, because, you know, in the film, the main character, Mel, is dealing with her father and they're at odds about how to handle the move. And she doesn't have a lot of patience with him at the beginning when he's kind of trying to hold on to all these things. And she's just trying to speed up the moving process and trying to get it done and just like view it as a very like scheduled to-do list kind of project. And I think it's easy to get caught up in things in life and not slow down to appreciate what's happening or to feel your own emotions, and also to have patience with the people around you and try to understand where they're coming from and why they might be behaving the way that they're behaving. So yeah, I hope that people can, you know, be in touch with the things that they're feeling and try not to get too caught up in just moving through a process just to get it done.
Right. Do you have any advice you would give other filmmakers maybe starting out? Like that, I am sorry that COVID kept you from being able to work. That is just really bad timing. But would you give any advice for people like you probably like going through that and everything, and then still coming out and still being able to make your films and everything? Do you have any advice for people?
Yeah, I would say just progress is better than perfection. So it's better to kind of like move forward with a story, even if you don't feel like it's fully ready. Just kind of like set a time that you want to do something, say like, I want to shoot a short this year, and then really just try to move forward with it. Trust your ideas. I think it's really important to make films that you personally connect with, because it takes a lot of effort to bring a film from the idea to writing to shooting it and then to post-production. There's so many things that will stand in your way. But I think it's important to just do the thing that you really connect with, because you're going to need that fuel, with all the obstacles that you go up against. So, it should be something that you're really connected to, and then just try as much as you can to make it happen. And sometimes it might mean that you need to kind of scrap an idea of something that how you wanted it to be, and just kind of move forward with what you have and make it work. So I would say those are the two things that I would say to people that are trying to get into filmmaking.
That was great. Thank you so much. That was great advice.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans for Sparklers after the film festival?
That I'm still kind of working on. I've really just started the festival run with the Garden State Film Festival, and I'm really excited to be premiering at this festival. So I'll give it some time and do some submissions over the year. And then I think I'll have to, kind of see what opportunities maybe come during that festival run and go from there. But hopefully it'll live online somewhere.
Right, definitely. I think people should see this movie, so I agree. It should be online somewhere.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we are coming to the end of our time together. I had a great time speaking with you. I loved watching your film. My final question for you is, will you be joining us at the film festival in a few weeks?
Yes, I will. I'm actually based in Princeton, New Jersey, so just about an hour away from Asbury Park. So I will definitely be there that weekend. Really excited.
All right, awesome. Can't wait to hopefully be able to meet you there.
Yeah, you too.
I know audiences will for sure connect with your film, and I'll see it. And thank you again for joining me tonight. It really means a lot.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And for everybody watching, once again, that is Sparklers, playing Saturday, March 29th at Block BK18 from 2:30 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. Katie, thank you so much again for speaking with me, and I can't wait to meet you at the festival.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you there.
Have a good one.